Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition down here at chilly Apter's Alley. It's cold down here, but we want to bring us to the fans. This is Bill Apter for the Apter Chat, and this gentleman has not been on the Apter Chat in a while, and I want to welcome him all the way from Baltimore, Maryland, Joe Koff, the COO of Ring of Honor. Welcome, Joe.
Bill, thank you. Thank you for having me and how well you look, and I hope you're safe, and all of your viewers and our followers that are following this. I hope that you're being responsible and staying safe.
Well, as you can tell, you know, I generally wear a mask, but I've got so many behind me, it's hard to choose. So you know what? I don't know if anyone's ever asked you this on an interview on a wrestling show, but you're always introduced as Joe Koff, the COO, the Chief Operating Officer. What does the COO exactly do?
He's in charge of the business. It's my vision. It's my business to run operationally, all that. I have a staff below me that's excellent, but I have the full responsibility inside of the company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, that owns us, for this product.
So what does a day in your COO role include for Ring of Honor?
Well, I speak to my office people every single day, who speaks to the talent. If I can speak to talent, I have spoken to talent. I also do other things for the company, Bill, that are not wrestling related. Okay. So my day is kind of split where I'm needed most at that moment for whichever part of the company I'm working in.
Understood.
So, you know, I've been in broadcasting my whole life, and the one thing I learned from the day I went into it, that whatever you thought was going to happen that day is just not going to happen that day.
Never happens.
So I don't, you know, so my days are not normal from the sense of I have a meeting at this or a meeting at that, but I'm a good communicator, and I have a great staff that communicates with me. I have the pulse of the business. I'd like to think I have the pulse of what's going on in the world, and that's kind of my role. It's much more of the bigger picture.
Yeah, yeah. How many stations does Sinclair currently have, and how many markets are they in?
Yeah, we're in over like 89 markets. This is as of today, I believe, 89 television markets that we own and operate stations in, with well over 100 stations. Plus, we have the Bally Sports Group, the newly named Bally Sports Group, which are our RSNs, our regional sports networks.
I'm glad you said that. I hate acronyms.
Yeah, yeah, RSN's regional sports networks. But so we're there, plus we're on other stations that are non-Sinclair, and we're on internationally. So
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I would say probably if you were looking at raw numbers across the United States, we probably are in somewhere between 80 and 100 million homes.
Wow, wow,
yeah.
Wow. Other than Ring of Honor, what are some of the other home runs that Sinclair has in terms of television programs?
Well, we have all formats, obviously. We are an award-winning news provider, local news. We specialize, Bill, basically in local news content, local programming, and sports. Okay. So those are the pillars that we Ring of Honor certainly falls into, not only the sports, but also with local content production. We have our own streaming service called STIRR, STIRR.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, which actually houses a Best of the Planet 24/7 Ring of Honor station. So we do a lot. We're a really innovative, good company. I think you'd rather hear more about Ring of Honor than Sinclair.
Well, we're going there.
I can speak about both as fluently and as passionately, because they're both, you know, without Sinclair, there'd be no Ring of Honor. Yeah. So we rely on our parent very much.
Well, that's great. That's great. And now we're going to go, you're out of the bubble. We're going to take you into the bubble of
really
Ring of Honor here. So COVID-19 has changed the entire world. And I remember reading in interviews years ago about the moving Ring of Honor internationally, and you were doing that and everything. And all of a sudden, now everything stopped, and you people are taping in a bubble like all of the other companies are. Tell us how that's impacted everything in the short term, at least.
Yeah, you know, we're almost coming on a year, actually. It's probably, we're in our 11th month. We ceased operations for our anniversary show which was to air on March 13th of 2020. We
Right
canceled
around
the show.
time.
We canceled the show, I think, on the 11th. And, you know, at that time, and this is what a COO does, Bill, you make decisions that are good for the people who work in the company. And I didn't know what it was going to be, and who ever thought we're still in the bubble and, you know, in the COVID, not in the bubble, but in a COVID situation. But my concern was for my wrestlers, and my concern was for the fans that were coming for that show. And my concern was for all the people that were already in Las Vegas. I wanted everyone home as quickly as I could get them home, because that's where I wanted them to be. I had international talent. I needed to get them home. And I put health and responsibility ahead of everything.
That's great.
We were not the first wrestling promotion to go back. We all operate without fans, but I wasn't ready. And we're in Maryland, and Maryland is very strict in how they handle things. And we had to set up our protocols, and we had to work with the Maryland State Athletic Commission on our protocols. And I had to make sure in my mind that if we were going to do a taping, that every single person that was involved in that taping would be safe by being here. So we probably created one of the safest bubbles in professional sports, with 3 rounds of testing and social distancing and masks at all time, except in the ring, wiping down the ring after every match. We took this pretty seriously. And because, you know, when you think about the scope of COVID and the pandemic that exists, wrestling seemed really tiny to me. And it's not to take away from the fan or to take away anything from it, but I felt a greater responsibility to be responsible in coming back in a way that was safe for everybody. And quite frankly, Bill, the time we spent in COVID, which we still are, but the time we weren't producing, because we didn't start producing until the summer, we really got to look at what the depth and robustness of our product really is from our archives and who's wrestled for us and our social media presence. We almost became a different content producing company than just putting out an hour TV show. We have weekly podcasts, specials, watch parties that we grew out of the fact that we needed to service our fan. We wanted to service our fan. Yeah. We just had to do it differently. And sure. I really think that I always loved our television product. You know that. Our television product right now I think it's the best it's ever been. And it's because of COVID, because we had to have it. We had a moment to reset.
Isn't that weird that we can say it, because so much of the pro wrestling business has changed the way they do things, but a lot of it has become better in this.
I think so. And it doesn't surprise me, because when you're in the middle of something, trying to change things when things are moving is very, very difficult. But when you have the time to reset and think about, okay, we're going to come back, we're coming back without crowds. How is that going to have an impact? How are we going to deal with that? And it just allowed us, and I'm really proud of our people, my creative people, our production people, what that product, we came back with the Pure Tournament, which was fabulous. I mean, it was a fabulous series of shows. The wrestling was amazing. It was a pure style, something Ring of Honor had years ago and decided to bring back, which incidentally was going to be the next set of house shows that we were going to be doing right after our anniversary show.
I remember.
So we were able to almost reimagine it in a new look and a new way for television. And what I love, our bubble is so tight and my guys are so great, my talent. You know, people didn't know what happened at those matches. They were actually watching it every week to see who progressed and who didn't, because there were no fans to get on the internet and to kind of do that. And the guys really respected that, something we wanted, because I said, here's our opportunity to actually present wrestling almost as it exists in real time.
Yeah, and no spoilers.
No spoilers and no trolls and stuff like that. I mean, there were people that might have liked it or didn't like it, but that was fine. But you know, when we started airing the Pure Tournament and the new TV style, we were getting all kinds of accolades from the industry, and it made me proud. And I was really proud that we were able to capture that and be able to do that. And our TV has grown from that because we like what we were seeing. and we're applying it to the new television that we're doing.
So I was through the years, I was backstage at many Ring of Honor shows. And thank you for the courtesy of doing that to see the family there. And special shout out to Gary Jester, of course. And I know it was like back there with the wrestlers, with the photographers, with the special fans, etc. That's changed now. Take me backstage right now. What's that like when you get into that building?
I haven't been in the building, Bill. I've not gone.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
have to tell you no, because I've been advised because of my age, even though I look so young and stuff like that.
I'm there too. We're
why risk that? So I've literally not been at a Ring of Honor event since last February.
Wow.
But
wow.
Who's in the backstage? Only essential personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is tested. Everyone is accounted for. There's total separation. We work out of a building that's a big arena, and we use the entire concourses for dressing rooms.
Which arena is that for people who
at UMBC, at University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And if you can picture the old dressing rooms that you used to go in, and all the guys would be there, and sharing drinks and sharing protein drinks and all that. No, that doesn't exist anymore for us. We have separate space for almost every wrestler, because our protocols dictate that separation, even when they're not wrestling. So it's a different look. You don't see, there's no hanger-oners in the back. There's nobody in the back that shouldn't be there because they have a specific task that they have to do. So that's changed. So it's almost like it's all business now. The wrestlers come in to do their work, and they're great. My wrestlers are amazing talents with amazing abilities, with amazing integrity and authenticity. But they're coming to work. We get together on Zoom calls as a company, and I'm sure they're sharing their own personal, this is my friend and whatever. But when we come to wrestling, everybody knows the rules. For us to continue to present a product, we have to abide by the rules and regulations and the protocols that we've set up. So it's a little bit different. It's like I said, it's a lot different. It's more all business than more congeniality.
That's great. Now, at this point, you have so many different divisions, the Pure Championship team. I'm very impressed with Roosh, by the way, your world champion.
He's a wonderful competitor.
Yes. Tell us in which each one of the divisions, what you feel things are moving to, and how often are you taping?
We're taping. We've now taped in 3 consecutive. I would say every 6 weeks. It seems maybe there was a 4-week period. We did our pay-per-view last month, and we have another pay-per-view coming up in March. So our cadence for taping is 4 to 6 weeks.
And tell us about the pay-per-view.
I really haven't really gotten into that yet, but it's the end of March.
I mean the dates. Do you have a date?
I don't know. It'll be posted, but it'll be the anniversary, because that's the time of that we do our anniversary show.
That's great. How many years now?
I think this will be our 21st anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, we've owned it under Sinclair since 2011. So this is kind of like our 10th Sinclair anniversary. As an owner of Ring of Honor. It's really amazing. Our first show, Bill, was on September 24th, 2011. And this weekend show, I don't know when this will air, but we're in the week at Thursday. This Saturday show is number 489.
Holy mackerel. Wow. That's incredible.
So proud of that.
The big buzz right now, of course, is the situation between Roosh and Shane Taylor. You want to address that?
Yeah, one of the things we've been doing, and certainly for this show, and is that we've always cared about what the fans have wanted to see. And we've actually done shows where the fans actually asked for certain matches and asked for certain finishes and stuff like that. And we did a poll of our fans, and Shane Taylor is the one that they want to see challenge Roosh.
Right.
So,
I voted, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We want you part of the experience.
Thank you.
So, we listen to our fans. Our fans are important. They're part of our community. And all wrestling's a community, but Ring of Honor is a community inside the larger community. And their vote counts, their voice counts, and I want them to know that. I think that's what separates Ring of Honor and differentiates us from other promotions. We're a little bit more nimble and we can do things differently, but we really do care what the fans say. And our fans are very vocal. They let us know how they feel, and they want Shane Taylor. That's who they want.
And you're giving it to them.
Well, we're going to give it to them. There's nothing,
right.
nothing been confirmed, but that will be a match. I'm not the matchmaker, you know that, but that will be a match.
Your Ring of Honor World TV Champion is Dragon Lee, and I know that Tony Deppen is the #1 contender.
Yeah. You know, Tony Deppen came to us in the Pure tournament with Fred Yehai, and nice to have, you know, them back in Ring of Honor. And it was a great way to re-ingratiate them back to the fans. And Tony Deppen, again, looking at fan reaction, he is well liked. They want to see that match. And, you know, they're two technically strong wrestlers. We could do that match as a Pure tournament match. That's how good Dragon Lee is. That's how good Tony Deppen is. But, you know, the marginal difference between 2, 3, 4, and 5 is tiny. Any one of those people, any one of our wrestlers can wrestle in any kind of a match and put on a fantastic match because they're professional, they're athletes, they know what they're there for.
Ring of Honor has always been about wrestling, about professional wrestling. I mean, that's the bottom line. Now you have Jonathan Gresham, of course. He's a Pure champion, but he also holds a second belt. He's half of the tag team champions along with Jay Lethal.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've had multiple belt holders. You know, Jay Lethal, the franchise, besides being, you know, a top-notch international, well-renowned wrestler, is just he's just such an important part of Ring of Honor. And he and Jonathan Gresham have created a very formidable tag team combination. They work well together and they're in sync together. And I think they do really good work together. But Jonathan Gresham, technically, again, you know, if you remember, Bill, we go back to the days when we were watching it when we were younger. When we would see a technical match, you would go, oh, snooze, who wants to watch this? Who wants to see two guys fight cleanly? Well, I want to tell you something. When you watch Pure Wrestling and you see the technical aspect of it without gimmicks, you're really seeing the quality and caliber of the athlete. And wrestling is a sport. It's an entertaining sport. And these guys do that, but they are well conditioned. And I've seen some great matches in Pure, and Jonathan Gresham certainly being the Pure champion. He knows how to technically wrestle. And I think it's an art to watch. So, I mean, if you're looking for that other stuff, there's plenty of places to get it. But as you said, and I thank you for it, we have always been wrestling.
Pro wrestling. Always. You're one of the few companies, and I can't even think of any in the United States, that has 6-man tag team champions, Bandito, Flamita, and Ray Horace.
Well, look at that, all international. You're talking about Dragon Lee, you're talking about Rouge, you're talking about the 6-man. They'll be challenged. They'll be challenged soon. You know, the 6-man competition is very, very interesting to watch. It's a whole different dynamic. Those 3 guys are high flyers, again, very strong technically, but we have plenty of people are ready to take on that mantle of 6-man.
That's great. So if you notice, I'm a big high flyer.
I know you are.
You can tell by the masks in the back here.
Yeah, and we like it too. Look at our I mean, we've always been strong on the Mexican talent because we like their style. It's exciting and it's good. And they're really good at what they do. And, you know, look, when you're watching professionals who are really good at what they do, the experience is just enlightened.
There's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. When that chanting begins, that's the validation that I look for. That's why I bought Ring of Honor. When I saw my first Ring of Honor event and I saw that spontaneous chanting, and I didn't see anyone prompting it. It happened because it was organic, because everyone felt they were all in the moment. There was no other wrestling promotion I'd ever seen that with, and I've been to many.
I know you have.
That moment is what
you started as a fan. You got in this.
I've always been a fan.
I know it.
Still a fan. And every time I see that chanting, and that's the one thing I do miss from not having the live crowds, is watching us please the fans to the point that they have to do something to show that appreciation.
Okay.
So we do it virtually now. In my mind, I know those spots that I start chanting, because those were the spots that the chanting would happen.
Where, tell us all social media that people can find you and Ring of Honor.
You can't find me anywhere. I'm not.
We got you here. And
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, but I'm a guest on your social media. But, Ring of Honor's on Facebook, Ring of Honor's on YouTube, Ring of Honor's on Instagram. We are where the people are. And I'm going to just give a shout out to Kevin Hernandez and Anicia, who's a part of that marketing department. They've done an unbelievable job in raising our profile and keeping us relevant and current inside of the social media. So they do a great job. I mean, I can name every one of my people, Bill, but in the spirit of time, I will just tell you, I have the best staff in the world.
That's great.
These people, they work so hard for us, and they respect the product and they respect their jobs. And it's just a pleasure to have them with me.
I want to thank your incredible PR public relations person, Mark Cruxall.
Yeah.
He is the best wonderful nag in the business. He's terrific. He is. He emails me all the time and says, whoever you need, always there for you. So I want to thank him publicly for all the emails. He's always keeping me up to date on what's going on with Ring of Honor.
He does a good job. He
does.
No question.
All right.
Thank you for that.
For Joe Koff, thank you so very much. And everybody knows my sign off. This is Bill Apter, and we'll see you at the matches eventually.